Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, like, comment and share. Good day and welcome to class. In today's class, we are going to be drafting a basic bodice block using the Natalie Bray method. These are the measurements that we'll be working with. You need your bust, waist, hip, across back, chest, shoulder, back length to waist, hip depth, and your nipple to nipple measurements. So these are my measurements in inches and these are in centimeters. We are going to be converting our measurements in inches to centimeters to be able to draft this block. Now my bust is 38. I'm going to be converting my bust to centimeter. So I'm going to be pressing the tape at that 38 and I'll turn it back to convert it to centimeter. So whatever I have there, I'm going to be writing it down. So I got 96.5. I write that's down. So my waist is 32. I'm going to repeat the same step. Where 32 is on inches, press it and turn it the other way to the centimeter side. And I'm going to be writing what I have there down. So I'll repeat the same thing for my hip, and I've gone ahead to do the same thing for the other measurements that I need. So this is a chart or a table of average measurements and proportion that we need to draft this pattern. Okay, so this measurement here can be taken on your client bodies. Okay, this measurement here, the bust weight, can be taken on your client's body, while this proportion can't be taken on your client's body. For you to determine the size you're going to be using on this chart, you check for your bust. Your bust will determine the size you're going to be using on this chart. So for me, my bust is 96.5. So I'll go to the chart and check where 96 falls in. So 96 falls in size 12. So I'll be using size 12 measurements for all my drafting. So all this way to this side, to the proportion side, is size 12. So I'll be using that size 12 for my drafting. Anything I'm going to be using will be size 12. So in case your bust measurement is 88, if your bust measurement is 88, you will use size 8. Size 8. So you're going to be using all these measurements on the line of size 8. That way you're going to be using to draft your pattern. So if your measurement falls under 89, you're still going to use size 8. So 89, 90, 91, so you're going to be using a size 8. Okay, if your measurement falls under any of those figures, you're going to be using a size 8. Okay, so if your measurement also falls under 92, 93, because these numbers now are not on the chart, this 93, 94, 95 are not on the chart, but if your measurement falls under it, you're going to be using a size 10. Okay, so you only say 92 on that chart, but if your measurement falls under 93, 94, 95, you're going to be using a size 10. All the measurements are around size 10. So that is just it for this measurement. Okay, that is it for this table. Okay, so let's go into the drafting process. So in drafting this block, I'll be referring to the chart. Get your pattern paper, rule a straight line. The straight line can just maybe come down by 3 cm and just rule a straight line. That line will serve as our border line. So on the border line, the measurement you're going to input there is your hip divided by 2 plus 3 cm. Hip divided by 2 plus 3 cm. That will be the width of the pattern paper we need to draft this pattern. So you're just going to rule a straight line and connect it together. And the length of this pattern is 75. The length of it is 75. So just mark I'm going to mark 75 along this area, straight 75, and I'll be ruling a straight line to connect it. So just like that. And that is the size of the pattern paper we need. So I'm just going to cut this off, the one that we don't need, the excess, cut it off to the top part. Okay, just do what I'm doing, just cut it off. So this is just what we need. So from this point, check for point O on the chart, then you mark it down. My point O is 3.5, so I just mark that and rule a straight line. that will serve as our point O. So from point O you come down 3 cm. 3 cm is standard for every measurement, 3 cm for every size. So that 3 cm is our shoulder for the back. So from point O you're going to be marking your back length to waist. Back length to waist. So I just marked my back length to waist. I mark it, so I'm going to square it across. So for me to be able to get a straight line, I just came down this side 3.5, which is my point O, and I just marked my back length to waist just to get a straight line. Okay, so just square that across to the other side. So from point O you come down your bust line. Check chart for your bust line measurement. So you're going to also square that across. So I'm just going to label that my bust line, my waistline. So from your waistline you're going to come down your hip depth measurement. Your hip depth measurement, mine is 22. So I'm just going to mark that from the waistline and square it across to the other side, just like this, through a straight line. And I'll cut out the excess paper. Okay, so from point O to your bust line, mark the midpoint. From point O to your bust line, mark the midpoint. Okay, and that will serve as our back line. So from the bust line, I'm going to be marking my across back measurement divided by 2. Across back divided by 2. I'm going to be marking that on the bust line, on the back line, and on the shoulder. Okay, just mark that and rule a straight line to connect it together. So from my point O, I'm going to come out my back width. Check chart for your back width. So I'm going to mark that and I'll come up by 2 cm. So on the shoulder line, I'm also going to come out by 2 cm, and I'll connect that line together. Okay, and I'll connect my neck, my back neck. So on the bust line, from this point I'm going to be marking back up. Check on the chart for your back up. Then from this point I'll come down 3 cm, and from here I'm going to mark a diagonal line. Mark a 45 degrees angle. Okay, and mark a diagonal line there. And the length is 3 cm. Okay, 3 cm. So I'm going to be connecting the points together to form our armhole curve. Okay, just connect to the connect to the 2 cm at the shoulder line. Okay, that is our armhole for the back. Then on this hip line you're going to be dividing the measurements by 2. So I'm just going to place my tape from the starting point to this point and fold it together just to divide the measurement by 2. Then I'm going to connect it to our bust line just like this. So I'm going to connect that, and that is all for the back. And from the front, so this is our back. Still for the front, our starting point is from that border line, so that will be our point O. So from point O you're going to come down 4 cm for small size. For large size 4.5, and that will be our shoulder line. So on that shoulder line you're going to mark in 16.5 cm, which is constant. So on that point O you're going to mark your back neck width. Check chart. So for the length, for the base line, you're going to be marking 7.5 for small size, 8 to 8.5 for large size. Okay, so that will be our neck depth. Okay, so I'm just going to rule a straight line to connect. So from this point I'm going to rule a straight line, making sure it touches the 16.5 cm on the shoulder line, and I'm just going to mark 22 cm long. Okay, from this point I'm marking my nipple to nipple measurement. See where I bent the tape, nipple to nipple divided by 2. I just marked it there. Okay, so here I'm labeling my bust line, my waist, and my hip. Okay, so from this is our NP, that's neck point, shoulder point, neck point, shoulder point. So from here I'm still going to mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2, and I'm coming up 4 cm for our chest. That is our chest line. So I'll be connecting my nipple measurement with a broken line, and I will extend this line downward 2 cm. So I'll be marking 2 cm here. Okay, so from this nipple to nipple, I'm going to be coming out by 2 cm. Just come out by 2 cm, and I'll connect it to the bust line. Okay, so after that 2 cm, I'm going to be marking my dart. Check chart for your dart measurement. I mark my dart, and I'm going to connect that to the 2 cm under the bust line. Okay, so I'm going to connect it. Okay, so from this point, I'm going to be marking my shoulder measurement plus my dart. Shoulder plus dart measurement. That's what we're going to marking on this line. Okay, so I first measured my dart, then I measured my shoulder measurement. Okay, so I'm going to be marking here. I'm going to be marking my chest measurement divided by 2 away from the dart. Just watch. I marked chest measurement divided by 2. So I just shift the tape away from the dart line. See what I did? Okay, so I'm going to connect that to the shoulder line. I'm going to just draw a straight line to connect. So to get our bust, the formula is half bust plus 5 minus back bust. So my bust is 47.8 plus 5, which is 52.8. The 52.8 minus, this is how you get your back bust. So just measure what you have there. Okay, so mine is 25, so 52.8 minus 25 will give me what I'm going to measure here away from that leg. Okay, so just watch me. So I'm going to measure whatever I have here. So I'm going to shift the tape to the other leg and mark what I have. So that's how you get your bust measurement. Okay, so I'm going to be connecting that line from there to the hip line. Okay, so just connect the lines together. Okay, so you can notice that I've already marked it, but my phone was not recording, so I have to clean it and redo it again. So from the shoulder point to here to the chest, you're going to mark half of what you have there. So I just fold the tape to get half of what I have there. Then I'm going to come in by 1 cm. So just come in by 1 cm. So I'm going to come here, a diagonal line. I'm going to mark a diagonal line which is 1.5 cm long. So 1.5 cm long. So I'm going to connect the line here, here, and here. So I'm going to be curving my armhole for the front, just like that. So that's just it for this pattern. Okay, so that's just it for this pattern. So for the dart, I'm going to be folding it over to the other side. Just fold it over. Okay, just fold it over like this, and use a tracing which to trace that line. So just trace that line. So the tracing that you're going to see when you open it, you're going to be connecting it together. Okay, so that will help us to have a nice shape for our dart. So I'm just going to connect it. So it's the tracing that I'm connecting together. So from here, just come down 4 cm. That is our true bust line. Okay, true bust line. Okay, so that's just it. So for the neck of the front, draw a diagonal line which is 3 cm long, and connect the neck curve together. So in our next class, I'll show you how to do your waist reduction. Thanks for watching.